Hello and welcome to another Global Heartstream Heart Center Meditation. I'm your host, Gabriel Gonsalves, and welcome to anyone who is here for the very first time. This is a weekly dedicated space to tuning in, connecting, and energizing our hearts, and doing that with a greater community around the world who's committed to coming on a regular basis for the purpose of not only elevating our own vibrational frequency, but also doing it in a group to help support each other and to help support the overall awakening of the love consciousness within the planet, which is another name for the Christ consciousness. I have a lot of people that come to me to my guided meditations and then also to my coaching and spiritual mentoring practice, oftentimes with a lot of wounds from from religion. Who they may have been just judged or denied access to a particular religion or church because of either their sexual identity or because they were divorced. Something as simple as that. I remember as a child, when my mother went through divorce, after she got divorced, she could not go to communion in the La Salle school that I used to attend. It was a Catholic high school in Caracas. And I remember as a child, as a 9-year-old kid, it didn't make sense to me. My mom was going to communion like with me all the time around there. I mean, she took me to my first communion. In fact, I did it because she wanted me to. And then suddenly she's telling me, no, I can't go to communion. I'm like, what do you mean? And so, that didn't really make sense. And it was one of the reasons why I also made a decision right after graduating from high school that I really did not want to continue to be part of the Catholic Church, because that did not make sense. What had happened to my mom did not make sense to me. And anyway, the reason I'm talking about this is because a lot of people, when they hear the word Christ, I think we're just referring to the Jesus that oftentimes talked about and worshipped in the Catholic faith. And so if that is you, I invite you to substitute the word Christ for love, because to me, ultimately, that's what it means. Don't forget that the word Christ is a title. That means the anointed one. And so what are you anointing with? With oil. And so just like Buddha means the awakened one, the anointed one means is he who was anointed by the divine. And so to be anointed by God, if God is love, is ultimately to really dwell in this consciousness of unconditional love, which is what ultimately the heart really symbolizes. All right, so welcome, Sonia Ruiz. I see you now. Wow, you couldn't see me before. You seem to be having that trouble lately, huh? Hello, Heide. She says, hello, everybody, and thank you, Gabriel, for being here. You're welcome. It's a pleasure. Hello, Daniela from Romania. Things are really heated in your country, are they not? Your country has been a lot in the news. Hello, Michaelina Newman. I can now pronounce your name, right? Like the Archangel Michael. Hello, Cindy's Heart. Hello, Janet Noel. You know well. You know well. You don't only know better, you know well. Blessings, everybody. Thank you for being here. Hey, Tina Danielson from Denmark. Yeah. Thank you so much, everybody, for being with us today. So I wanted to make a couple of announcements before we dive into this week's heart-centric meditation. Or as I've been calling them recently, cardiocentric meditation. They sound a lot more scientific that way, don't they? It was to those of you guys who feel called to do some deeper work, either spiritually or emotional. I have two circles. One that is an ongoing circle called the Heart Mastery Circle that meets every Tuesday at 12 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. This is a dedicated space where you get to spend time with me, be coached by me, have space held in the safety of a sacred circle where there's some strong agreements to confidentiality in place, and where you can ask me any questions, where you can learn new practices, make new friends. So it started already a month ago, and a couple of you guys who are here are part of that circle. So I'm incredibly grateful to you for having joined that circle, and let the rest of you guys know that if you feel called to want to be part of a small community of people that are coming together for a purpose of supporting each other along the path of heart mastery, which begins with heart awakening, then this is an opportunity that is always available to you. And then also, whereas the Heart Mastery Circle is an ongoing circle, it runs as a membership program where you also get courses that are part of the Heart Leaders community. I'm also going to be starting next week, Thursday, the next cohort of the Heart Warrior Bootcamp. This is a 12-week intense training in shadow reintegration work and emotional healing. So that's really for those people who are along the heart mastery journey, who now have awakened to their hearts, and you realize, like, oh my God, as I started to connect more with my heart, I started to realize that there's all of these repressed wounds and emotions and aspects of myself that I have been denying or running away from for a very long time. And so you're ready now to begin to do the cleanup that is necessary along the spiritual journey, so that you don't fall under what is normally called as a spiritualized ego or spiritual bypassing, where you're using spiritual concepts to avoid your humanity or to neglect certain really important developmental work that you have to do. Okay, so this begins next week, Thursday. It meets on Thursdays, I believe, also at 12 noon U.S. Eastern Time. And if you go to my website, gabrielgonsalves.com, where it says upcoming events, you'll find links with more information about these two programs. The Heart Mastery Circle, that meets every Tuesday, and it's ongoing, as well as the Heart Warrior Bootcamp that begins next week, Thursday, December the 10th. Hello, Geraldine Kelly. Welcome. And those of you also who are making your way into our circle today. How are you guys doing? How's your week going so far? What are you noticing about yourself that is different this week or over the past few days? I'd love it if you could share that with me in the comments if you want to. But what I have noticed in terms of what has shifted in a lot of the people that I'm in conversation with on a regular basis, both students and clients, and is that many people, after having been feeling stuck for a very long time and feeling quite helpless and in situations that had become kind of like the normal, they're now finding a way out. They're beginning now to climb out of the hole that they dug themselves in. And for many of us, it's kind of like that metaphor of the frog in the boiling water. We've reached a boiling point, but then it's kind of like we got used to being in that hot water, and it just became the new normal. But our sensitivity, something has shifted inside of us where we're feeling propelled to, like, you know what? I can't be in this boiling hot water all the time. This is not comfortable. This is not who I am. This is not what I came here to be. And it's really time for me to step up. It's now time for me to begin to express these gifts. And so what I'm noticing in a lot of people is that the path is beginning to clear, and you're beginning to see the next steps that are necessary along the journey, and where before it felt kind of like not very clear and foggy and you weren't too sure. Now you're starting to see a clear pathway forward. And so I want to support that energy in you, if that is you, if you are somebody who is already beginning to see or climb out of the place that you've been in for a very long time. And for those of you who have not experienced that shift yet, we're going to also just activate the heart's energy that it's going to open you to the greater vision unfolding for your life. So with all of that, let us begin. And today I want to invite you to learn a new practice, a practice that we've actually never done before. So let me share this practice with you, and we're going to use this as a practice to initiate us into a deeper, stronger connection with our hearts. In kinesiology, in applied kinesiology, there is a technique some of you guys are probably familiar with. It's called the thymus thump. Okay, the thymus gland. It's at the center of your energy system. It's actually the gland that governs the upper heart chakra. And when you thump on it, when you thump, hit it, when you stimulate it, it not only stimulates the vagus nerve that is moving through your body, but it stimulates the actual thymus function. Now, what it does is resets your energetic emotional system, and it also stimulates your immune function. This is a wonderful practice that you can do when you have experienced, for example, an emotional shock and feel like you're in like disbelief and somewhat disconnected from your emotions. You can also do this when you're really very tired and you feel like, I just need to reset my system. Or when you are feeling very disconnected and numb, you can also do that as well. So these are the steps. I'll take you through the steps and then we'll do these together. And this is not, by the way it's traditionally taught. Most people, if you Google right now, if you went here on YouTube and look for thymus thump, you're probably going to come at least with like 100 videos, probably the majority of them like 2 minutes long. And they're just going to be doing like, this is the thump and this is how you thump. But that's not how you do it. That's not how you do it. As a heart math coach, and then also as a student of the late Dr. David Hawkins, I learned that there is an even more powerful way of doing the thymus thump. So the very first thing that we want to do is we want to align our thinking and our feeling with a high vibration, with a positive feeling. And the best way to do this is by thinking about a divine being that represents to you pure unconditional love. I'm speaking about the Christ. So if you are a follower of the Christ, then you may just imagine that the Christ, Jesus, is showing up. If you are more of the spiritual but not religious and prefer not to use this, just bring up somebody like Mother Teresa, for example. Or it could even be a grandmother or somebody from your life that whenever you think about that person, it brings up the feeling of unconditional love. All right, and so that's the first thing we're going to do. We're going to imagine that person, and we're going to feel the feeling of unconditional love and what it feels like to be in their presence. And then after we activate the feeling, and this is what we're going to do, we are going to take a deep inhale into the heart, right? Deep inhale into the heart. And then we are going to thump 9 times right on the thymus gland, which is about right here, just like kind of like a little bit higher than the heart, but in the center of the chest. It is the high heart chakra, remember. And the way we're going to thump is you're going to use your fist, but you're going to bring your thumb in and you're going to shield it. All right. So that, because if you do it this way, you might hurt yourself because your knuckle is sticking out and that could be quite painful. So you're going to hide the knuckle so that your tapping into your thymus with this flat area, all right? And so it will look something like this, right? You're imagining a divine teacher of unconditional love or pure compassion. And then you're going to take you're going to feel the feelings, and then you're going to breathe deep into the heart. And then you're going to use the word ha every time that you thump, and it will look like this. We're going to do it 9 times, I said. So that means 3 breaths and 3 thumps with ha, ha, ha. So it will look like this. Imagining a divine being, feel the feelings of unconditional love. Take a deep inhale. Ha, ha, ha. Inhale. Ha, ha, ha. Ha, ha, ha. So, ha, 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 ha. That is actually a mantra, believe it or not. So, ha, in the Japanese Sanskrit tradition is the mantra that also opens up the heart. And it is actually the laughter of the Buddha. Okay, that's why it opens the heart chakra. All right, so are you ready? Remember, hide the thumb, cover it up, okay, so that you don't harm yourself. All right, let us begin. Bring your hand over to the heart. And then as you close your eyes, I'd like to invite you now to bring into your memory, into your mind's eye, a divine being that represents to you unconditional love. Imagining as if they were standing right in front of you. And as you think about them and see them, feel their love, and take a deep inhale into the heart, amplifying that feeling of love inside of you. Letting that feeling soften your heart, activate the positive emotions. And then in a few moments, I'm going to ask you, take a deep breath and to prepare your hand for the thumping. And then we're going to do the 3 times 3 thymus thump. Keep seeing, feeling the love of this being right in front of you. Inhale their love into their heart. Letting that love open you even more, relax you even more in preparation. Ready? Let's begin. Deep inhale into the heart. And ha, ha, ha. Inhale. Ha, ha, ha. One last time. Ha, ha, ha. And now you can just allow the hand to rest. As you continue now to direct your conscious breath straight into the heart. Mighty I Am presence and Holy Christ Self of everyone who's here today, divine essence in which we will live, move, and have our being. In the name of divine grace, I call now for the light of love that emanates directly from the heart of the cosmos to shine in each heart here today, to amplify its frequency, shining its light on all deep, dark places that need healing. Let there be light in the heart of Janet, Geraldine, Mary, Sonia, Tina, Aide, Daniela, Michaelina, Cindy, and everyone else who's here present with us today or watching the replay. May this light increase our capacity to deeply love and accept ourselves. May this light increase our capacity to deeply love and accept others. May our lights unified as one in this field that is life itself amplify the light, love, and power of the divine upon this planet. Amen. As you breathe in and out of the heart, allow each breath to enter the chambers of your heart. The light inside the heart may slowly begin to grow in every direction. See, feel, and imagine that the light that is burning upon the temple of your sacred heart is now glowing with increased luminosity and warmth. The light of this master teacher or person that you imagine is now shining brightly inside of you, showing the way, being the way. Feel its warmth. Feel its love. As you breathe in and out, give yourself permission to surrender into the present moment, allowing life to take care of itself for the next few moments. As you bring your awareness more and more into alignment with the here and the now, the only place where love is. For love is a living presence. And because it's living, it can only exist in the moment. It is the presence, it is the power that animates your life. It is the one law of the entire cosmos. It is the one lesson you came here to learn. And as you see, feel, and imagine this light glowing within you and expanding in every direction, imagine now that a laser beam of this light begins to beam forward. It begins to shine into the future, opening your inner vision to new possibilities that might be right in front of you, but up until now you're not seeing it. You haven't caught glimpse of them yet. Secretly and silently ask for the way forward to be revealed to you right now. You may say something like, "Dear God, please show me what I'm not able to see." Or, "Dear Divine, dear Life, thank you for always being there for me. I know you will not abandon me now. And I trust that you will continue to guide me on my journey here today." And as you speak this silent prayer, as you make this request, allow yourself now to drop into a receptive silence where you can just now listen, feel, remember, and know. Take a moment now to feel gratitude and appreciation as you thank the divine in you for offering you some insights and answers and signs for anything that may have been received, knowing that the process of asking sets a very powerful intention that will allow more answers, more insights to continue to come to you over the next few days, perhaps in a dream or in a conversation with a friend or in a book that you're reading or in an email for a friend, watching for those synchronicities, watching for those hidden messages that oftentimes we miss. But when we are open and receptive, after having asked the question, it becomes easier to identify. So as we come to the end of this heart center meditation, let us just remember for ourselves and for each other that we live in an unconditionally loving universe, that we're made out of the spiritual substance of the universe as well as the physical substance of the earth. We recognize both our human, earthly nature as well as our divine inheritance, recognizing that we're both human and divine. We recognize that this life is an expression of the unseen forces that guide our lives. Divinity. And therefore we constantly turn to divinity, the source of all existence, the source of our love, the source of our prosperity, the source of our wholeness, the source of all healing, which is love, for the answers that will guide our journey forward here today and always. Amen. Take a deep inhale into the heart. As you begin to open your eyes and start to get yourself reacquainted with the physical space that surrounds you, again, feeling wonderful, feeling present, feeling clear, greater harmony, energize, and welcome back. How are you feeling? What new insights emerge during this brief process? If you feel up for it, I'd love it if you could share those with me. It always tickles me when I get to hear how these meditations are helping you and supporting you on this journey. I just want to read some of the comments that came from you guys. Geraldine, she says, so much clearing out has happened. I see things very clear. Even if I don't like what I see, the veil has been lifted. Yeah, it's a classic thing, isn't it, Geraldine, of the truth will set you free, but it will first piss you off or depress you. It's that kind of thing. Yeah, but seeing it allows you to be, or enables you now to be in a position of power where you can now make some choices. You know, there is such a thing as ignorance was bliss. I think Alice Bailey used to say that. Ignorance was bliss. Yeah, but once you become the knower, once you become aware, the bliss is completely gone. Yeah. You're very welcome. Michelina says, lovely meditation. Thank you, Gabriel. You're very welcome. Thank you, Lilian Alvarez, for your love. Geraldine says, thank you again also for this weekly gatherings to renew and receive. Very grateful. You're very welcome. Sonia says, so lovely to see that it's hard to let go and let God, fear of the unknown. Yeah. Yeah. It's built in. It's built in. It's built in because the future only exists as a potentiality and is being created from this moment. And that's why the importance, more than ever, to be really present right here and right now in this moment where the answers, the guidance, the intuition is being given to you all the time. My friend Adrian Friedman has this song that says, "Everything you need is here to receive. All I need are the keys to surrender. Everything I need is here to receive. All I need is the courage to remember." I think I said it backwards, but I think you get the meaning. As I was offering you guys a prayer, I realized that the prayer actually came from a book that I've been reading. This is a book that was gifted to me a few years back by a friend from the UK. It's actually called The Message of Francis of Assisi. My friend bought it at the Abbey House in Glastonbury. I don't know if you guys have ever been there. I know Irish, you've probably been there. It's a really beautiful story narrated by a chaplain at a university who's talking to the students and trying to tell them about the life of St. Francis of Assisi, but kind of like in modern days, modern language, even though, modern language written back in, when was this book written? It was written in 1940 something. No, 1924. Imagine that. Anyway, just before we close, I want to share this with you. If I can just find the page. I had marked it. Oh, here we are. Okay. So there is a brief section in the story where he's telling the story of St. Francis and his small group of monks were living in this horse barn, because obviously they were very, very, very poor when the order first began. And they were, in essence, kicked out of the horse barn, and they had no idea where they were going to go next. And so St. Francis at that moment asked all his brothers to get down on their knees, and this is the prayer that they said together. They said, let me just remove this. They said, "God has always been good to us, and he will not desert us now. He will guide us to some haven here." And so whenever you find yourself in a situation where there's a lot of uncertainty, there's a lot of insecurity, you don't know what's going to happen, where you're going to be living next, where your next dollar, where your next meal is going to come from, your next partner, your next whatever. All right, this is a wonderful prayer to remember that the divine has always been there for you, that God has always been there for you, and that right here, right now, he will not desert you. That you will be guided, as you have been over and over and over and over again in the past, to some form of haven, to a new place, to a new understanding, to a solution, to a healing. That in the end, things will work out. And therefore, yes, surrender all your worry, all your fear, all your uncertainty, and hold on to the truth that God has already been very good to you. Think about all the things that have happened in the past to you, all the miracles, all the wonderful things, the jobs, the people, the money, the cars, the things, situations you were safe from. So give thanks for those. And then remind yourself that you will not be abandoned, that you are worthy of love, you're worthy of abundance, you're worthy of success, and that some form of path will be made for you. That is the promise. All right, my beautiful friends, thank you so much again for your lending me your hearts and your ears. Thank you, Daniela, for your comments, Sonia, Ruiz as well. All right, I wish you a fantastic rest of the week, wherever you are in the world, reminding you always to please take care of yourself so that you can take care of others. As always, I send you all of my love. from the south of Spain here in Granada. From my heart to yours. See you next week. Bye-bye.